how do you create a pattern for Valentine's Day? What's up everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Lauren Leslie and I'm a textile designer and surface pattern designer, and today I'm going to show you how to make a heart pattern for Valentine's Day. So if you are wanting to design a little heart pattern for Valentine's Day products or gift cards or things like that, then definitely keep on watching. And if you're wondering how I created these hearts to begin with, then make sure to check out my other video here where I teach you all about the difference between acrylic gouache and regular gouache, which I used to paint these little hearts. Okay, so I'm just starting out in Photoshop with a 12 by 12 inch square at 300 DPI, and I scanned in my little painting here, and I'm just gonna cut out all of these little hearts, and that way I can arrange them around the artboard to create a pattern. But first I kind of need to make some color adjustments, and as you can see on the right side I was using acrylic gouache, and on the left side I was using regular gouache. So I just need to adjust the colors in Photoshop a little bit so that it looks more like one cohesive painting and all the colors really look more like the same colors going across the artboard. And I want to like brighten these up a little bit. I don't want my hearts to be so orangey, so I'm going to play around with the color by pressing Command U, and that way I can really just play with the saturation and the lightness and all of that. And so and I'm going to come back and adjust the background as well. Right now I'm just using the magic wand tool to make sure I'm kind of selecting all of the color, and then I'm just adjusting the hue by pressing again Command U. And so that's one of my favorite ways to just adjust colors really quickly in Photoshop. And as you can see, I colored my background just a solid color so I can see for now how everything is kind of looking, and you can still kind of see the cutout pieces of paper, but I'll go back and kind of adjust that. But I do want to keep sort of the same like watercolor paper texture in the background, so you'll see how I keep that later on in the video. Okay, so now I've adjusted the hearts kind of the way I want them, and I can literally just move these around the artboard. That's why I kind of like having these all cut out as separate layers so that I can just kind of copy and paste some of these motifs and play around with them, and then I can use my actions and literally just with the press of a button I can copy the repeat over the edge to the other side, and if you want to check out my resources page, I'll link to it in the description, and you can also head over to laurenleslie.com/resources, and you can see all of these actions and software that I use, and you can literally buy these actions on Creative Market. It's super easy, and one of the best things I've ever bought, because it just takes pattern making to a much easier place. And so now I'm just going to kind of fill in the middle here as I continue to copy and paste some of these heart motifs, and I adjust the scale a little bit just to make sure that it is filled in, and really just kind of play with placing these hearts around the artboard in an arrangement that feels balanced and also kind of seamless, and where the same heart isn't repeating right beside each other. And of course you can go back with the eraser tool and kind of erase some edges if it's overlapping in a way that's going to be too much. But yeah, I'm really liking the way this is looking. Okay, so now it's time to kind of adjust this watercolor paper, and what I wish I had done from the beginning here is just click that little colorize button that you see when you press the Command U in the hue and saturation, because when I press colorize, then it really helps kind of color this entire texture. And so I missed a couple of little things here, but I have another way that I can adjust this. So I was thinking about kind of coming in and just blurring these edges with an eraser tool that was like partially transparent, and you can do that. That's one way to do it, but I really just want to get a solid background. So I'm going to copy and paste this watercolor texture and just enlarge the scale here, and then I'm just going to continue to duplicate it and bring those layers into one layer so that I can kind of just continue dealing with a larger section of this watercolor paper. So that works out really well for creating this watercolor textured background. So now I'm just going to use the rubber stamp tool to kind of finish cleaning up this texture. So rubber stamp tool is a really great one. You can just click the option button and it'll basically copy over part of the texture from the other section of your texture. So now you can see the texture is really clean and just in the full background, and I'm able to go to edit and define pattern and then bring in kind of this scale PSD file that I have saved so that I can see how the pattern is looking at a smaller scale, and I'm really liking the way it's looking. So I have my little card size planned out right here, so you can kind of see just how this pattern is being placed on a card and how it would look for a real life purpose. So guys, thanks so much for watching. So if you enjoy making patterns, then make sure to check out my free workshop and masterclass, Textile Star. The link is in the description, so be sure to check that out. If you want to connect further online, be sure to join the Design Tribe Facebook group, listen to the Design Tribe podcast on iTunes or Spotify, and if you're hanging out on Instagram, then I love to chat with you guys in the DMs. So hang out with me on Instagram here, and be sure to drop me a comment below if you have any questions. I'll see you guys in the next video. I love you. Mwah. Happy Valentine's Day.